It's time for more Theros Chaos in the mythic odyssey of Theros, our D&D game across ancient mystical Greece. And there was some big revelations, and I believe the term I used for last session's title was celebratory explosions that went on last session. What do you remember? What happened? Who did you meet? What happened? What were those explosions?
Underwater Granny told us all about everything.
Yeah, you were.
And we learnt from Thassa about the other world apparently crossing over. We've got to stop. But not before I murder the shit out of Akros.
Yeah, you were still with Kiora, the Queen of Olantin and Great Witch of the Abyss, who turns out to be a giant kraken with a angler that looks like a merfolk, and that's what she uses to be the queen. And you were having your little tea party with her, enjoying a few questions, when all of a sudden an incarnation of Thassa shows up. And to prove devotion, Sogeg, what did you do?
It wasn't necessarily devotion as much as I thought that she needed a gift because she's a god. So I exploded a red cap.
You summoned in a red cap. Scuds made it chocolate flavoured with prestidigitation, and then you decided to stab it and got a crit, and then channeled a smite into it, and it went. Oh, also spent 10 points of piety to make it explode, and sure enough, it exploded. Covering pretty much everybody other than the pets in chocolate red cap gore. Thankfully, the gods have seen enough of your interesting way of dealing with the world to be unfazed by such actions. And they went on to, well, continue to meet you, as well as explain what Thassa wants from you as a party. The idea that Theros isn't alone in the universe, and it was the power of Crufix that was keeping it safe, but it seems to be waning. Something seems to be affecting it, and Theros needs to be united, or at least ready, to deal with whatever would come through if Crufix's power fails. There was also another thing. Zolk, what did you manage to do?
I handed the rock to Kiora.
You got a rock. Well, you pickpocketed a rock from Nadrin because she was starstruck by meeting her god, and gave it to Kiora. Oh, what was in that rock?
A giant kraken.
A giant kraken. It turns out that the weird magic rock was imprisoning Thaumaturkrakis, the mythic kraken that when you gave to Kiora, she stepped outside and let him out back into the real world to go and frolic with his siblings. I'm sure that was a purely good thing to have done. No negative consequences for releasing Thaumaturkrakis from his prison.
Yep, no one's in danger.
Nothing's in danger. What could go wrong? I'm sure he was imprisoned as a complete and total mistake. He was innocent the entire time.
I mean, when you think about it, we let it free, so we're not in danger.
Yeah, that's fair. That is one way to look at it.
Him's innocent.
Yeah. And I believe that wrapped up everything you did with Kiora and Thassa. You headed back to Olantin, where you cleared up some more issues, where the Council of Olantin was blaming Delrin, Nadrin's older sister, for the disappearance and the sacrilege of sending dry folk into the depths to go and get her back. But with Nadrin's intervention, as well as Kiora's a bit too passive sort of approval, that issue was resolved. So knowing that this was likely going to be your last little bit of time in Olantin, you went and got screamed at again, and half the party got poo brain. As is your wont. So that cursed epithet is staying with the party for a little bit longer.
Very important part of us now.
It certainly is. You headed back to Nadrin's homestead. We're essentially picking up as you've taken a long rest. Delrin has used her spell slots to remove the feeble mind from those who were feeble-minded. And so you can take this opportunity to switch out any epithets, restore any abilities, restore your health, etc., etc. And then you can let me know where you would like, or what you would like to do next. You have been told by Thassa that the Oni that tried to steal your ship, that was released from the granny bag, had made its way to Pseusis, on the far northern border of Akros. And
We need to go there.
I believe that was the idea, was to I believe Kiora has already promised transport to get you there when you're ready to go.
She also promised a Kraken.
Did promise a Kraken.
And Sogek falls over.
So his leg's still a bit too weak. But promised a Kraken for when you decide to take over for Akros. So unless you're planning on going straight to Akros and attacking them now, those Krakens might wait for a little while.
You did also mention that Ishak, she knew him,
He had,
and that he wasn't the original king of Akros. He was just
not.
a scorpion dude.
He was king of Phobos.
Sounds not as expansive as Akros, I'll be
Well,
honest.
You would know,
So
not only
big.
from being told the story before, but from the history of Akros as your time as prince. Phobos is the desert to the north of Akros. It's where a lot of Akroan heroes go to train against the endless hordes of undead and great monsters out there. But you'd never heard of it being anything other than a desert.
You're kidding yourself if you think that Sogeg was listening during history lessons.
That is also true.
Sogeg was making little army men in his paper book and stabbing things.
The history didn't
As
have
is
enough
his right.
javelins.
Listen, Nana didn't let me play with javelins, and now I'm a big grown man, Scorpion. I can do what I want. And I say, let everyone have javelins. On that note, I will give a javelin to Nadrin's parents. I'll just give a deep bow and say, this is a kingly gift. And I will spin it around to show the Sogeg inscription on the side.
Another one.
I'm a benevolent leader.
Another of your javelins will be added to the previous one that you have given us.
Ah, yes, but this one He's newer. Hmm?
Okay.
I'd forgot I'd given you a
Yeah,
javelin.
that was literally the first thing you did when you met them.
I mean, I'm a benevolent leader.
Scuts is gonna just pat Nadrin's dad on the back and just be like, "It's okay. It just means he really thinks you're neat," and give him a little nudge as he's like awkwardly accepting this second autographed javelin.
I've got a weird appreciation now for creatures that are finned because they can swim much faster to the bloodshed. I respect it.
True, what you're going to do when you go back
Cool.
to the surface and your speed goes back down to 30 feet?
Oh, I'm actually going to be so sad. Oh, no. My manta ray. No. Nah, the sea's been good, but I purely blame my lack of leg development on not having to really work hard to move.
You've been swimming with the cloak rather than with your legs. So, just atrophy.
Well, let's clap my hands and just say, well, I best be getting on the dusty trail. Sogeg just sort of clumsily walks out the door and tries to not knock too much stuff over.
Any last moments with Nedrin's family? Okay. Although I see Scott's digging into the bag.
Yeah, Scuts is gonna pull out the hand of the skeleton captain, and she's going to hand it to Nadrin's father.
It's actually
I think you should have this.
What is it?
Just give it somewhat of a proper burial.
Oh,
She scratches her head
okay.
and walks away.
It holds it sort of like just between finger and thumb, kind of at a distance, doesn't really know what to deal with a decaying, chewed skeletal hand.
It belonged to the greatest captain that ever was.
we never knew his name.
It was just the
I don't think
captain.
we ever asked.
I mean, if you don't want it, I'll ask Granny to like make me a sword or something cool. You don't have to take it. Scuts is getting sad that people don't like her gifts.
I will return it to the ocean bed as you've asked.
Scuts just kind of stares awkwardly out the window at Sogeg as he's riding off into the sunset.
I just point to my clock on my wrist.
All right.
The sundials that don't work underwater.
He needs to go get those squats in. We got to get back up on land so we can get beefy. It was nice meeting you. She waves merrily at Archie as she leaves.
Still in his top hat and monocle.
Those will stay there forever, right?
Maybe.
Are we using enough story points?
If you use enough story points.
Sogeg inspired. He weaves a magic as he sits outside. Slightly, he's a being of little concentration, and he's already bored of the water. It's very wet and not very dry, and I like dry things. He starts weaving a tale of Archie, the amazing slug, with a noble top hat and monocle. As I just speak it out into the world, I will use 5 story points.
To guarantee that Archie can't ever take off his top hat and monocle.
I'm good at using my disposable resources at good times. I've never heard such a tale. What a grand old slug. I'm mostly just sort of like trying to pass time, I'm trying to remember. I don't think we did know what the captain was ever called, and I feel like we probably should have
No,
asked at
you
some point.
never
I
asked
feel a
his
bit
name.
bad.
I was going to ask, and then he
I
died.
said he died.
Yeah. I know it was kind of his fault. Died to harpies. Ridiculous.
There are a lot of
no.
harpies.
Them.
It wasn't the
What
harpies that
happened?
killed him, though. Well, that's
We
what
don't
you're doing.
talk
You're
about-
going to get revenge for him. You're going chasing down the Oni.
Did we ask Thassa if she was cool with the captain as well? I don't think we did. We probably should have asked. Is Kira still there?
Asa accepted him back
Oh.
when we sent out most of his body to sea. She accepted it back.
And
Sergei was just
accepted
there for autonomy.
the treasure back as well from Nadrin. So, yes, he
So
had
we-
been forgiven by the sea for his
All
transgressions.
is well with the world.
At least that means we didn't just offer the hand of a fugitive as a gift.
No, he came back home.
I'll be honest, it's just a skeleton hand we found at some point. I think we just said it was the captain's.
There's a lot of hands in here. That's probable.
Let me remove
I
the
definitely
hand.
remember you putting his hand off,
Um,
trying to eat a bit of it,
That's it
and
was
then
very
gave it
much.
to Scott.
Can I
I'm
roll
very
to
much
check
no.
and see?
No.
I would like to inspect the hand for Sogeg's bite marks to determine if this is or
It's
is
definitely
not the
got
hand
bite
in
marks
question.
on them. It's
Yeah, but
whether
is
or
it
not they're
so
sewn. Make an investigation
my-
check.
In my defense, I'm pretty sure the captain gnawed off his own hand and then put another skeleton hand on top of it, and that's the one I took. 90% sure.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's impossible to tell anything more than it's just been chewed by something. But considering it's been in the granny bag for a while, it could have been anything.
I'm guessing by the amount of wrist bone attached as it falls apart. She shrugs and is sad that she doesn't know where that roaring bird went. As she just peacefully saunters off to wherever
Well,
Sogeg's headed here.
as you step outside of Nadrin's home, you see about 5 of the hippocamps with the sea chariots attached to the back. No riders, no one with them, they just seem to be sat waiting outside.
Like to pet the hippocamp.
Make an
Same.
animal handling check, please.
So majestic.
They're so pretty. Oh no.
So, okay, you managed to get some pet. It almost seems like this one is familiar somehow, but you can't quite place it. It's good to go to pet a different one, and it will let you, but it's more tolerating it than actually enjoying pets. Probably petting a bit too hard.
I don't think that Sogek was made for the sea. Oh no. Become too majestic and graceful. Curse my natural charisma and animal handling ability.
Are these for us to ride in? Guts will climb in the back.
I don't know if it's Thassa's. I know this is going to be really rude.
I mean, they
I'm going to look directly at
weren't here
Nadrin
when
and
you
just
got
see if
here.
Nadrin's making... Yeah, well, that's a good point.
They showed up as soon as you'd had a rest.
I'm going to try and subtly signal Nadrin to look at Skuts to get a lay of if this is a bad thing or not. Not fully sure of what the sea law is. Just like wave sort of subtly towards Nadrin.
Well, since we're leaving now, I'll say goodbye to my family, and then
They do go
head on
in
out.
for hugs, especially towards Neil, and wish for the sea's blessing wherever you're going. Although they are sad to see you head off on another journey so soon after you've come back from your previous one.
I've gained a taste for the adventure now. I have to go.
Got the Wanderlust.
So I will head out, and can I tell if Scuds is doing anything wrong?
Okay, what are you actually trying to tell? Are you trying to see whether or not the hippocamps are there for a reason, or if Scuds is doing something to them that she shouldn't be?
Any idea if those are for us?
Make either an animal handling or an insight check.
Let's see, where's animal handling? That's a 0, so I'm gonna go with insight. A 7.
You put a few pieces together. You can't be 100% sure because you can't see anyone that drove them here, or has presented them here. But the fact that there are a full herd of these hippocamps geared up and ready to transport, as well as the fact that the one that Sogeg seems to be petting seems familiar, which I don't even think you need to make any check to be able to tell that it's the one that you rescued when the sharks were swimming around and being agitated by the Nar shark. You get the feeling that they are here as on Thassa's direction as opposed to any of the people of Olantin.
Yeah, I will go over to the hippocamp that we saved, be like, hi, and pet it.
Yeah, you don't even need to make an animal handling check. It is immediately giving up any sort of attention it was giving to Sogeg and passed it straight to you. It is very clearly excited to see you again, and the fact that it can bring its herd to meet you as well.
Oh, hey, that one likes you.
Do you not remember this one? With the sharks?
No.
With the
Oh,
sharks?
I was trying to save Mr. Purples from that crab.
True.
That is true.
Oh. Guts will pet it also, but more gently this time. Aw, look at you. You didn't end up a shark snack. Aren't we supposed to take these somewhere?
So, is there anything left in Olantin you'd like to clear up before jumping on the chariots attached to these hippocamps and seeing where they take you?
If I was like, if while we're leaving they happen to go over the marketplace, Guts will just have a note ready to drop. That says, "Hey, it's the shop dude. I went on vacation. I'll be back. I'll find
Kind of a little late for that one, but okay.
fine."
Give me a deception check. Let's see how believable you can imitate his mannerisms in writing.
I'm pretty sure some of the writing characters are going to be like in primordial. You said deception, right?
Deception, yeah. Okay.
It's clearly written by like a
It's clearly written by Scots, backwards letters and all.
Yeah.
The hearts is like dotting any I's, all that kind of thing.
it looks like any letter she writes to Granny.
Yeah.
There we go. That way they know he's on vacation. And she's gonna keep it ready to drop if we go over.
So, anyone else before you leave Olantin?
I don't think I've got anything else.
Milk, Sogeg, Bennett, anything?
I want to be dry.
You want to be dry? That's fair.
Yeah, nothing from Bennett can't wait for the feeling of
Being able to
going
breathe
back
again.
to a relatively low pressure area in comparison to this. Just need to remember to blow out all the way up to the surface in case he has an embolism.
Yes, I won't be making you do checks for the bends, don't worry. So, you hop aboard the hippocamps, and literally the moment you get settled into the chariots, they take off at a blistering speed, running through the water like you'd expect wild horses to run through an open plain. And they travel for a while. It's probably about 2 hours worth of being sat in the back of these chariots as they gallop across the Draca Seas, passing coral reefs and different sea creatures that you've seen on your travels, until you notice the seabed is getting closer, even though the surface is staying where it is, and you notice more and more ships coming in and out overhead as you get close to the shore. And check if I've actually done this right beforehand. I have done. Back to the world map of Theros. That was a bit small. So essentially, you were last time you were on land in Neolantin. You headed off. I don't know why there's two Neolantin. You headed off into the Great Siren Seas and the Draca Isles, finding a few islands along the way. A few different encounters before ending up at Olantin, which you still, even though you've visited there, have no idea where it would be placed on a map. And including where on earth the deep abyss would actually be. You assume it's somewhere in the depths of the Siren Sea, but it's unknown at this point. And so, yes, you are all up here at the far northern edge of Acronian territory, as you come across a small port village. So I'll do that, and I'll also drop the party token on there. Just, in fact, if you want to, we'll put everybody's tokens on. If you want to move around at all, you can move around at all. There we go. So you come in, avoiding docking ships and leaving ships. There's not a great deal of them. Probably half a dozen at most. Coming in and out. What type of ships they are, at a glance, you can't really tell. But if you want to try and look further into the details, it would be a perception check or a history check.
Know these. I paid attention to what ships are in that cross. Sometimes.
Roll 20's been mean to
It's
everybody today.
yeah, it's not happy today. Either
Try
perception or history.
Trying history, even though my perception's bad.
There we go.
History's better for some reason.
I mean, you've got a high intelligence, that's why. Okay. Okay, that's better than so we'll do it as a group check. There are a few Acronian boats. They're quite small. Akros doesn't tend to have much in the way of a navy. They seem to just be flying Acronian colours, but they're most likely merchant ships. The one or two military ships that are here seem to be privateers. They are most likely pirate or mercenary ships. But the majority seem to be much smaller, either cargo ships or personal ones. As you arrive in Pseusis, a small port village in the far northern of the Acroan coast by the mouth of the Nikean River. As soon as you breach the surface, you are hit by the heat of this place. It's hot and arid, and you can taste the salt in the air from the seawater being that much salty just from, as I said, the heat of the place. So the hippocamps are, well, they will take you to shore before letting you disembark wherever you wish along the shoreline, giving you a healthy nod, maybe the equivalent of a hippocamp bow, before diving back into the water before too many surface dwellers spot them.
I immediately forget my love for the sea. I'm going to use my ring of jumping to literally just torpedo myself into the nearest sand pile. So Geg will just revel. He just, sand, beautiful sand.
This is your first time on dry land for a while. And mainland dry land at that.
I do the thing that scorpions do, and I wiggle myself down. So there's just my head with a little sand pile on top of it, and I'm just poking out of the sand, surveying the area, looking for Onis.
Oh, so Geg, that's so cool.
I am
We should
really
scare
cool.
somebody.
Looking around, it's quite sparsely populated. most people you can see are dock workers and similar that are shifting cargo on and off of boats. The main buildings that you can spot that aren't either residential ones or store buildings, there is a large, what you assume to be tavern or inn along the pier front, and on a slightly raised hill at the far end is a very run-down military building with the flags of Akros over its walls.
Ugh, Phobos is where we sent all the lame people. Why are we in the Great Phobos Plains? In Akros, we have like 5 taverns and a really big market and a pit where you can put people with as many javelins as you want. I can literally see a pig shitting in the corner over there. Why are we here?
This is why you need to build up your leg strength, Sogeg, so you can kick people into pits.
I might start making a pit. That's what this place needs. Eyes on the prize. Sogeg's going to continue. I'm literally just going to look for the Oni. Maybe he's just walking about. You never know.
Make a perception check.
God, this will be the quickest story plot point ever. Oh, he's just over there. I can literally see him. He's eating a cornflake right there.
Yeah, you look around.
A single cornflake.
You don't see anyone that represents the Oni. You do notice that you are drawing a lot of attention, though.
How can they see me? I'm under the sand. Only part of my Ephitonus is poking out. And Pogeg's only gently waving the flag of Pogeg.
Give me a stealth check then. Let's see how well they can actually detect you.
I will definitely mention that Pogeg would be waving the great flag above me at all times.
That's also
as his tradition. I should be at disadvantage because I've got heavy armor. God, it's a stealthy flag. How that works.
They just see Pogeg waving the flag. They don't realise that he is stood on top of you. So they just see a goblin waving a flag and like, oh god, it's another one of them, whatever, and carry on going.
I'm going to use a very rare moment of intelligence. I've been stood near Zolk a lot, and the band of intellect is worn off slightly on me. As I'm going to turn my royal signet ring upside down to not show it, so people don't immediately know that I'm Sogeg, Exiled One.
You are still wearing Acrotary and have the cape of a dead Acronian as your flag. So
I'm a Scorpion Man, and Pogeg every now and again toots his horn and just says, "Arriving is Sogeg Afasto, 12th of his name."
We did practice trying to disguise you as a centaur. We could do it.
Oh no. They're just conflicting good and bad ideas right there. You see Sogeg literally shake at your good suggestion of actually disguising me. As you see his hand, I think we all have the same spell. You definitely all recognize that I could very much skywrite right now. Like, behold Sogeg, he has returned. I'm very tempted.
Bennett, what are you doing with your thieves' tools?
It was meant to be disguised.
Okay,
I clicked the wrong thing.
We'll still take that first roll because it's still off the same thing. What disguise are you trying to make?
Oh, somebody said something about a centaur.
Okay, so you're helping put Sogeg into a centaur costume.
Oh.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Thank you, Bennett.
Surprisingly convincing, so long as Sogeg can walk like a centaur.
We'll just have to put 2 of his legs into one and leg.
Into each
on both sides.
It just didn't work last time because we were underwater, clearly.
And maybe strap that tail down as well.
I wasn't convinced by the attention to
Scott's-
detail to all the parts, but goddamn, you make a good centaur kit.
Can Scott's help like paint on his like scorpion bulbs so it looks like his tail's just braided?
Are
And, like,
you
pinned up
using your
fancy.
magic paints for this or your normal paints for this?
Magic paint, because then if anybody looks at it, it's actually hair.
Yes, you are painting actual hair onto his tail.
There you
I
go.
love, the, I love the idea that it's going to be a very, very definitely convincing as centaur with helmet that has ancient runes that glow blood red. a banner waving goblin, but my feet are bound together. And I got real hair.
But only on your tail.
On that note,
beautiful.
can I paint him hooves? I'll take 2 charges off my paint.
Okay, you can.
Ooh.
So he even
So he'll sound.
if he wasn't walking on sand, he would make clop clop noises.
Just
Yep.
give Poke coconuts.
I was going to say, yeah, it basically sounds like Poco's got coconuts behind him.
Can they be
Need to find a
bronze?
coke.
He's bronze coconut.
Aw. Oh god. Yeah.
I mean, with the perception check that you made before, I will let you find a coconut on the floor if you'd like to give Poke coconuts.
I would like to give Poke coconuts. It will help.
Okay, he gets the coconut.
Am I still using the charge to do the hooves, or are we doing the coconuts instead?
It's stack everything.
I was
I'm
gonna say, you
gonna
may as
need
well
Poke
do
coconuts.
both.
Yeah. There we go.
What's the worst that could happen?
Fail a deception check.
There's too much clopping noises.
Yeah, he's making clopping noises while walking on the sand, so it's kind of giving it away. There you go.
All right.
Okay, so with Soka successfully disguised as a centaur, I guess.
Something.
Centaur question mark.
Yeah, centaur with a asterisk after it. Yeah. What would you like to do now you have arrived in Pseusis?
I mean, I've got business with the local barracks place, but I feel like we should probably find. We've got to get payback on this Oni, right? And I feel like we can't do any other business because otherwise the Oni's going to run away. We need to be stealthy like and find the invisible dude. Maybe ask at the tavern.
I was gonna say, I feel like if I were on a ship with a bunch of gold after I just ran away and then I got blown up, if I survived, the first place I'd go is a tavern. Because I'm hungry, as she rubs her stomach and it growls.
It's definitely what an Oni would do, and not just Scuts being hungry.
So, are you heading towards the tavern?
It's not the
Yes.
worst idea, yeah.
Okay. I actually have a map for that because I'm testing out the new dynamic lighting features. Hopefully, we've got an open door and actual windows.
I just see a bear and I got really excited.
As you make your way along the dock front, passing workers hauling goods in and out of ships, you arrive before the main or the biggest building here, with a big sign out front that says "Salt and Sand."
As soon as Sogeg's hoof touches a wooden board, Pogeg will get off and he'll start doing a.
You just go and get some coconuts or something like that. Pound for it.
Maybe.
Oh. Right, you need to remind me at the end of the session to give you an epithet for that one. I was about to say, I need to give it inspiration, but we don't do inspiration this time, right? You've definitely earned your story point from that
Yes.
alone.
My God. Yeah, Pogeg's a wily little fella. I trust my stealthiness to the little guy. He, of course, continues to wave the flag of Stogeg, though.
Actually, it's just strapped to his back, so it's just constantly waving.
Yeah, he's just sort of like
behind him.
wiggling
Yeah.
to keep it aloft.
He's twerking the flag alive.
Am I crazy, or is that a bear? Is that just literally a bear?
I wonder what it is.
Really hench bear.
Oh,
Stogeg has nightmares of a being such as this. He seems to remember. Well, it was nice knowing you, party. I think we're about to die.
On the inside of the tavern of Salt and Sand, it is a bustling tavern that you can hear lots of different voices all sort of shouting and talking over each other, drinking and merriment to be had. Front door is open. You are welcome to go on through, or you can just close the door and walk away. Well, I said I'm testing this out. There are windows around the outside. I have been able to actually put the dynamic lighting doors on, so they seem to be working pretty well so far. Because I can do this.
Stogeg
I can have
plays
Zolk
with this
shut the door
window.
behind him, and then there you go. Everyone gets shut out.
I like that you can play with the window and it doesn't. It just makes it half something. Oh, you can open it in.
Yeah, you can open and close the windows. Oh, I didn't realize the
We're
players
just
can
sitting
do
here
it as
playing
well.
with the door.
wait, it works?
Yeah,
We're just sitting there playing with the door, opening and closing it.
It's like, oh
This
my
is
God, this is the
amazing.
first time we've seen a door. My
It's been
God.
so long since we've been underwater. They've got advanced up in. So actually, I'm going to look quite sort of like gloating as like, yes, we are advanced in Akros.
Technological advancements. So, the interesting door aside, Zolk, as you're the first one to go inside, give me a perception check.
Guys, you can play with the windows as well.
You can play with the windows as well.
Oh,
I assume you can't change the door to secret. I'm assuming that's something only I can do. I'm assuming you can just open, close, and lock it.
no, we can close him. Close the
We
door
could-
behind Zolk.
we could just close the
Can you lock the doors, or is that just something that I can do?
No.
Okay,
there's
so
no
I
right
can
click.
lock them. But
You should not have given us his power.
oh no, I'm using these on every map going forward. This is fun.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Oh no.
We should really open the door.
So, Zolk, looking around, you can see a pair of minotaurs seemingly partway through a drinking contest. A table full of a mixture of orcs, dwarves, and humans that seem to be passing gold around over some sort of game. A table with a handful of Acroan hoplites that, while still fully armoured, have taken helmets off and are relaxing with a decent bit of time off. A brooding loner in the corner, just sort of staring into the depths of a tankard. And a handful of colourful looking mercenary types around a giant humanoid bear, which I'll zoom him in just so you can see that he's actually got his beard tied.
He's got a good goatee.
And they seem to be laughing and swapping stories around. And with a roll like that, you can even see that the bartender of this place seems to also be in quite heavy panoply armor, although it seems to be decorated strangely, almost like it's had a few spikes put into the pauldrons, into the metal, and from what you can tell, pieces of garlic stuck to it.
Ah. Doesn't like a vampire.
Is it him?
As I will zoom in on the bartender.
He looks cool.
It does look cool.
Recognizable for some reason.
He seems like
From?
somebody that knows his way around a monster.
Scuts wants to follow her nose in. There's a very pungent
There
smell as
is.
they wafted the door open. Oh, what's that?
Not only the strong smell of garlic, but you can smell. If I could give me a perception check to see whether or not you can separate anything aside from the smell of alcohol and garlic. But there is another smell as well. You can smell some fine, fine cooking coming from the kitchen at the back. Although, exactly what it is, it smells like very well done, or very expertly done, I should say, meat with plenty of salt and seasonings.
Oh, you guys, there's some good grub in here. And she'll follow in Zolk and all. It's there because I don't know. What?
Yeah, so feel free to look around the tavern. Choose who you want to try and talk to.
Can we fit through the window? So
You can try. I don't think Sogeg can. Pogeg, definitely. Zolk, definitely. Everyone else might struggle.
Here you go, Pogeg. Get in there, lad. I'll place him. Actually, I grab him again, like, as soon as I put him down, as I realised he's my disguise. Close the
All of
window.
a sudden, your hooves are clopping from the other side of the room.
He can't fit. He has to go through the door.
Yeah, he has to go through the door, yes. The dynamic lighting, to have the doors work, I have to have it so that it stops you from being able to move through them.
Okay. Scuts will make her
Which
cauldron
may make
over...
size large things a bit difficult.
Scuts is going to put her cauldron on the table and have Mr. Burble sit in the cauldron since everything seems to be very wooden and flammable.
Good idea.
Wise.
His
And
footsteps do set things on fire, so yeah, good idea.
Then she's just going to go sit up at the bar and wait for anybody else to join. Before she'll try to order some grub.
Neil is gonna walk his way over and sit with Mr. Burbles.
What a good meal.
Definitely not trying to park our very large party member in front of a door, you know, to block anything.
Just gonna wait inside. I'm too buff, I can't get through the door. I've like puffed out my shoulders.
Can you not
Oh.
actually get through the door? Do you want me to move you through the door so you can get inside?
I actually. Oh, I can get halfway through the door. There we go.
There we go.
As I enter.
Gosh.
I'll say, but personally, I'm going to go to these Crowan guards. I don't know what everyone else is going to. In my strategy, seeing them would immediately pique my.
Okay, Bennett, are
General
you
hatred.
going anywhere, or are you staying on guard by the door?
I intend on entering, but I'm just having a nose. Everything seems to have just.
Okay,
gone
I will come back to you in a moment. Then.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna step inside.
There we go.
Try and. So I was gonna say I'm gonna find out what it looks like. Pretty much every table's taken.
Just here, Sokek making a mess as he's trying to sit on a size medium table.
He's dropped his coconuts.
Okay, just like he's just not used to having half his legs bound together. I drop
I'm just
Poke
gonna
at the back.
go to the back of the place and just lean against these barrels and just watch.
We're gonna have an edgy hooded figure off between Bennett and the other mysterious person in the corner.
Is anyone has anyone noticed the party? I feel like we're a bit inconspicuous. Like Scott's a gigantic like tree. I have a ballista on my back, and the rat really smells really bad.
Not to mention we've got a giant fire dog and a water dog.
I hope everyone has respected their cool. Honestly, like
No
wouldn't
one's.
say
You're definitely noticeable. You've not exactly stealthed in, but most people seem to be too busy engaged in their own worlds, in their own conversations, to like suddenly stop and tell you to leave, kind of thing.
Scott's looked in and she saw the bear and the minotaurs and was just like, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty monstrous race is acceptable.
She was more not sure if it was okay to bring in her pet.
Yeah, it is also made of wood, so.
Are any of the patrons at all shying away from the Acroans guards? They seem to be on their own, or are they just completely?
They
Is there any body language towards them?
make an insight check.
I don't know.
Your distaste towards normal Crowan soldiers means that even you would also be kind of recoiling from them at some point. So it's hard to tell how or if anyone's acting differently. Okay, so we'll start with Scott, Zolk, and Nadrin ordering some food. So you make your way to the bar of the tavern, where its owner finishes cleaning up a few wooden mugs before turning to you. So, are you ordering anything? Want a drink? Food? We've got no beds, but we can at least offer you some good food, good drinks, good stories.
Me and my friends just did some pretty cool stuff, not to brag or anything. We're the good dudes, you might have heard of us. But we're so awesome, I want to get some food and some drink. She just points around. How many of us are there? Zolk?
8.
Counting on fingers and toe or hooves.
Well, she only she's only got 6 fingers, so she ran out. We added the pets and it threw her off.
Hold on, hold
yeah.
on. What did you say your party name was again?
I said we're the good dudes. So you have heard of us, huh? See that? She just like nudges Nadrin and Zulk.
You can't be serious. You mean he wasn't telling lies? You actually exist? And he steps off towards the kitchen before shouting in, "Hey, new guy! You're going to want to make some of your special grub for these ones." As
My God.
coming to the door with his new artwork that I did that I wanted to show to everyone.
The plot twist of all plot twists.
Stuffing his face with some fried something is your beloved Frankos. As he pokes his head through the door, smoke following him. Holy shit! Is that the good Doods, Dodd? Where have you been, Doods?
Francos, hey!
Holy shit. I'm going to make you the best things I could possibly do, Doods. I've got this perfect new thing I've been doing, and I've been taking your advice, and I came to the most salty place I knew of, and I've been learning how to do stuff with it, and I made this super cool, like, awesome snack you guys did. You're gonna fucking love it, Doods.
Francos! You're the best!
Hey.
I think you somehow got even better!
Hey, boss dude, I'm gonna make these guys some awesome stuff, and it's totally on me, dude. Don't worry about it. As he scoots back into the kitchen, closing the door behind him, wafting the acrid smoke from inside away. As the bartender just shakes his head and returns to the bar.
If I don't have to pay for food, then everybody gets drinks on the good dudes! And Scuts has no concept of money, so she starts like, I have 133 gold, she'll just pull out like 50.
So you're buying a round for everybody and shouting that to everyone.
Yeah.
You hear a great cheer from everyone and a look of significant disappointment on the bartender's face as he goes and readies a fresh cask of ale and just starts emptying drinks while turning to you, Scots. I need to do some counting. Are you including the bartender and Frankos in that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be 150 gold.
She'll put down 133 gold
I
and then
said
start rummaging in the granny pocket.
150.
And she'll pull out a pair of pallid leather gloves crafted with ivory fingernails. This is a one-of-a-kind, handcrafted item for my granny. It's great for gardening, because the fingernails just cut right through everything. As she, like, mimes slashing with it and sets it down on the table.
That thing stinks of monster and evil. As he sort of shies away from it, moving some of the garlic on his armor towards it. I'll have nothing to do with it. Pay up your tab. We don't do debts here.
Zolk will put 20 gold out of the pile of gold that we have.
You do have a pile of gold because you did just get paid. You got your treasure back from Thassa.
Is just keep the change.
He scoops it up for placing it in a locked chest behind the bar and continues to pass around drinks to the thirsty clientele. And in the middle of this, Frankos comes back out and hands you Scuds a sort of little wooden box that's filled with tiny little pieces in batter. Holy shit, dude, you gotta try this, dude. This is my new line. Snack pops. You gotta try them, dude. You bite them, they burst in your mouth. Oh, holy shit, dude. They're just like incredible. When you eat these, dude, you're gonna fucking nut, I tell you.
Intense.
Guts will grab. Is there a bunch or just a few?
There is a big box of them. There's probably
She'll grab
about
a fistful.
15 in the box.
And just cram them in her face.
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yes! As you just hear her, like, crunching into it.
You crunch into the crispy outer layer, and whatever was inside it bursts in your mouth. And it is a strong and pungent taste of blood and aged meat. For yourself, is exactly the type of food you love. For those with weaker constitutions, less so. Probably aged a bit too long, the meat.
Frankos, this is aged to perfection. It's so tender, it literally explodes in my mouth.
I know, dude. It's the whole salt thing that you said to me, dude. I started taking lessons on how to use it, and I didn't know that you could make meat last forever if you cover it in salt, dude. So that meat was stuff that I got from when we last met, dude. It was that weird bear thing in the water.
Frankos, that's amazing. She just gives a little chef kiss as she like takes another bite.
Yeah, hands out another bowl of these Frankos snack pops to the rest of the party as well.
Okay, it's okay, get over here. You gotta try this.
I'm gonna use what's it called? My tattoo to give myself a 60.
Super reach.
As I will super shadow hand reach and grab one of the salt sticks. I'm still staring down the Acroans.
The bowls of Frankos pops.
Eating one, I just nod in agreement.
Okay, give me a Constitution
greatest
saving
thing I've
throw,
ever-
please.
This is the greatest thing I've ever eaten. Frankos, perfection.
Yeah, and you bite into it and feel that pop in your mouth, and you can taste blood, and it is delicious for you.
I like your clarification.
Anyone else from the Scud Song and Nadrin getting drinks from Marcus and food from Frankos?
I just want to ask what the deal with the bear is.
Who are you asking about the deal with the bear?
Go with Frankos first, see what he knows.
Holy that bear dude is like my best customer, dude. He will eat everything, and it's like, holy shit. He also has like the best stories, dude. It just tells me all about like his adventures and the people he pays to go on adventures and all of these like different meats he gets from all over the place, dude. Although he's a bit weird because he's gone into the desert where they all get super hungry and eat anything, and that's like not cool, dude. But I tell you what, he's got some good stories and some better taste, dude.
I may need to bother the bear at some.
That is understandable. Nadrin, want to add anything? Okay. We'll move to Sogeg and his approach on the Acroans. That seem to be just having a polite lunch, just eating some much less francosified food with the additional free drink they just got from Scuds.
I take the 2 chairs and I drag them out. Unless they do anything to stop me, I will sit down.
Well, they don't stop you.
I just say, what's a definite centaur non-royal got to do to get a good drink around here?
First of all, make a deception check for me.
I am twiddling my moustache.
I will give you an advantage because of Pogeg clapping his coconuts.
He's doing it furiously.
Okay.
I'm good at rolling the same thing multiple times.
Trying to remember what accent I gave the Acroans, but I'll just do the generic one. Pull up a seat. It's rare to see centaur this far north. If you're looking for a drink, that buddy of yours just gave everyone one. Why not ask her?
I will use my Stretch Armstrong powers. They last for another like 30 seconds to grab a drink from the bar.
There's one available there. Because did buy you a drink. You bought all of the party and everybody in here a drink, so...
I just look at the Crowan and just say, I've been in Akros before, and I know that Phoberos is the graveyard shift. What did you do to get sent out here?
Pretty weird for a centaur to know that much about a Crowan society. But, yeah, this is the shithole of a Crowan society. But it needs defending. And Kalina, our Tradoi that is in charge of the place, has got some deals with some adventurers that go out into the desert and collect stuff. So we've got to make sure that what deals happen here stay on the right side of the table.
Does he do any like nefarious mustache twist when he says that? Or is he actually serious?
Waves his hand in a way to sort of gesture that he's meaning that some deals are supposed to be, on the table, and some are supposed to be under. That they aren't here to police smuggling and piracy. They're here to maintain order and make sure Akros gets a piece of that cake.
Do any of them look to have any chinks in their armor, or like scars, or like battle damage? Or are they all fairly...
Make a perception check.
I stare them in the eye.
They've definitely seen combat. There are scratches and rents in some of their armor pieces, but you can tell they have been very well maintained in spite of it. The damage is mostly just cosmetic at this point, but when it was inflicted, it wasn't. It's been repaired pretty damn well for something outside of Akros itself.
Would it look like, I'm looking at essentially, if it was by blades and other, humanoids, like straight line scratches, or does it look like a mess of just a tangled mess of a bestial attack?
They definitely seem mostly bestial. They seem like claw marks and scratches in that sense.
Point to the one in the middle and say, huh, that an owlbear scratch I see in your armor?
You don't travel this far north often, do you? Owlbears aren't found around these parts. No, this was an
Something
Anubian.
small.
Found it out in the desert, came out the sands, and went for me. And I showed him who's boss.
Yeah, I remember when I was fighting something a little bit bigger than a Nubian. As I've unfortunately got rid of all my muscle shark meat. As I just sort of like waft my cape away from my very clearly badass battle mark on my helmet that's way bigger than his scratch.
That armor seems familiar.
Shit.
Where'd you get armor like that? You don't see Akrotiri
It's not
outside of the hoplites often.
I looked at him, and I'm soft using my turn myself blood red ability. Soft using it.
Okay.
Just to make the eyes glow slightly. I looked at him with stern face and say, have you heard of Tmolus, the great warrior?
Well, yeah. He was in command here not that long ago, a good few years back.
Then you'll know not to ask that question. A wound still deep to my heart. I carry his spirit. Oh. And I sort of I'd put my hand on the cloak.
Make a deception check.
Covering up a bit of the blood passion of the storm. Oh God, Pogeg, you better be clapping those goddamn coconuts a lot.
They don't seem completely convinced, but they don't seem to immediately see it as a lie. They're confused more than anything else, mainly because you're a lot bigger than Tmolus.
I mean, yeah, I'm a lot bigger than a lot of people. I just look to them and trying to appease them, I just say, we all have our secrets and our history. It's been a long time since I've been to Akros, but I hold its honor and its ideals and its true way of the warrior.
To Iras. He holds up his mug as the others join suit.
I do the same.
Do you repeat what they say?
I do.
Okay.
Actually, no. Actually, oh shit. Oh. No, just do it. Okay. So goes wild. Would I have any inkling of what it means?
Yes. You would know.
Sorry, oh my god, I'm being so stupid. Sorry. Sogeg's helmet, you said Iras, didn't you?
Iras, yeah, the god of victory.
I do not repeat that at all. Sorry, my helmet was on. I've still got water in my ears. As I hear Iras, and you definitely see the blood red boil a bit brighter, and you see Pogeg shake slightly. Perhaps a bronze boot in the sky. As I just I'll keep my mouth shut, and I'll just mutter, I don't know, like, to defeating our enemies.
Yeah, they don't seem overly phased by it as they take their drink in cheers in honor of IRS.
Oh, I think I'm just going to sneeze real quick. Sorry, as I turn around, I do a very pogeg symbol above my head, and I just whisper out, "Just be cool, okay? We've got deals to make." I look to them and say, "It's been too long since I've heard the war cries and the chants. But I have business, and you sound like more reasonable a crow and hoplites." And I give out a little chuckle. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Tell me, do you know, in your travels around the great deserts, of the ancient ruins of the civilization of Phoberos?
Phoberos is just a desert, and a cursed land at that. Go too far into it, you'll never come back out. You'll either be killed by the horrors in there or starve to death, eating your own body before you just die. So I would not have thought there'd be any kind of civilization there. Nothing that could beat
Did your royal
Akros
nanny
anyway.
not tell stories? Did you not remember the fairy tales whispered at night of the great Scorpion King, as some call him, Dim Wiesel?
No, there's no good scorpions. Those damn scorpions are what's ruining our monarchy. The Divinatory have been plagued by the scorpion curse for so goddamn long. And one of the other Crow and Hoplites elbows. Sorry about that. I could get a bit carried away.
I mean, you know what they say: 4 legs and less. I trust you. I don't know a rhyming word for that, but yeah, that's my saying.
No. The Divinatory of Akros have been in some hot water of late. King and Queen have gone. Princes hit left, right, and centre, all disappearing, all after the tragedy of what happened to Soakegg, rest his soul.
I bite my finger. Oh. I look to him and say, I let out a little tear, and not to act, but Sogeg's just really, really like self-absorbed. He just like lets out a little tear. He says, "No, not Sogeg. You must tell me what happened." I remember him, greatest of the 12th sons. Surely he would ascend if the other 11 pissed off.
Well, he was in the running. If he had won the Acronian Games, he would have had a legit call to be next in line for the throne. But from what we know, he died as a warrior of Iris in honour and glory, if only a bit too young for an Acroan prince of his renown. Defending Akros from the monsters that assail us, but ever since his loss, the royal family's been in shambles, torn from its very roots.
I raise a toast and I say, to the rightful heirs of the Acroan throne.
They hold up their glasses as well.
I look
to the
to him.
Fastos.
Fastos! I look to him. I just ask. I think of a way of saying this without him immediately impaling me in the head. Last I was here, I heard troubling lies of His Grace. I heard of rumours of another line. I will not lie. I will not keep any secrets hidden to you. I seek out to stem the roots of these lies. I did not know that Sogeg had died, but I had heard that his name had been tarnished, and I come to honor a promise I made to him and to Molus that I would right his good name. I seek out the foul people spreading the lies of... My brain stopped working. So the cog spins of
Ishak.
hold. We're gonna hold. Ishak. Do they respond to Ishak?
Those are just scorpion cultist nonsense. That's just propaganda trying to usurp a crowing loyalty and honour. Probably some Meletan trick. Don't pay any mind to those bastard scorpion cultists. They go out into the desert, find some things of worship, and then believe that Akros was never the first here, and all these other shit show stories that they actually are part of the royal family and some other crap. No, don't listen to them.
Listen not to their lies, but to their actions. I made a promise still. I must put an end to this. If there is heartbreak within the royal family, I must do my part to quell this lie. Tell me. There was ruins once in Phobos. Little more than an old outpost of ancient Akros, but that is surely where they are hiding. You must tell me. You have seen any signs of these cultists, where I could find them?
We haven't got permission to go outside of Perseus. We're here on guard. Talk to the bear. He's the one that organises those adventurers that go out treasure hunting in those ruins. They do all right. Make some good money for Akros. Bring back some good relics too. They can be a bit disloyal. No, like, cause, no banner to call their own.
Are we talking bear that turned into a man or a man that turned into a bear? I spent some time in Cetessa, but unfortunately.
I've only ever seen him as this man-bear. But rumours have it he wasn't always that way. Couldn't quite tell you.
He was a bear man once. Interesting. I raise a toast once again, and I just say, my good friends, keep up the good fight. Seen any Onis?
They come through this area now and again, part of those adventurers that get hired out. Aye, what's an Oni got to do with a centaur like you?
I apologise and just say sorry. It was a slip of the tongue. It was on my mind. I was trying to pay no heed to it. I give the Acronian... I'm going to give the Acronian bow, but I'm going to purposely do it slightly wrong to not look like I'm actually a hoplite, but more trying to do it to be honourable and nice.
Make either a performance or deception.
I'm definitely glowing a bit more red now. Taking power. Pogeg might be a bit damaged from this because I'm just squeezing the shit out of him because I'm very angry right now. But I know I must find my people as my mustache is twirled more than ever before. Oh shit.
You overcorrect on being... Oh, unless Zolk wants to give you a flash of genius.
+3.
Okay.
Oh,
Still
yes.
probably wouldn't be a success.
Damn.
You overcorrect on trying to not do it right. And as well as with your legs tied awkwardly, you do sort of, one of your legs gives out and you do fall a little bit onto your side before picking yourselves back up, which the Acroans break out into laughter at your embarrassment. That was a good attempt, but there's a reason centaurs don't tend to wear Acroan colours. Good luck on your quest, friend.
Thanks. That really hurt. I'll just sheepishly grip my gigantic fucking spear, and Pogeg just looks to the party, and you definitely recognize an eye of just, I'm sorry, but I just need to take a step outside and blow something up. I'm sorry. I'll be back very quickly.
Back in a moment, I just need to murder something.
I'm going to just jump out the door, bury my face in the sand, and just scream. Aye!
Okay. We will hop to Bennett then, as you brood in the corner while all this is going on. Is there anything in particular you want to do? You have been given a drink by Skird says she's bought a round for everybody.
I'm paying close attention to these people at this table. What do they appear to be doing? They look a bit dodgy for me.
They definitely seem the dodgy type. They seem to be trading back and forth in some kind of card game. Small stacks of gold passing between hands quite regularly. Make a perception check to see if you can filter out what they're talking about through the noise. No, you can't. But you can see that they are gambling in some capacity.
I am also very aware of this bear.
There is a big bear dude, yes.
Can't miss him. Can I make a perception check on him? See what?
Yeah, you can see if you can overhear
these
their
people are doing.
conversation. Yeah. As they're a little bit closer, you can make out a little bit more, although nothing like distinct. But you managed to put together that these seem to be various adventuring, either parties or individuals that organise treasure hunts that have gone out into the desert, found. They're all trying to one-up each other on stories of the different ruins they've found, the traps they've overcome, and the riches they've managed to find.
I'm also curious about this
There is a hooded figure.
looking fella.
Yeah, there is a hooded fella in the corner. Thick, heavy coat or cloak covering most of their features, staring into the depths of an empty beer mug.
Right. I'm going to stop at the bar and I'm going to pay for one extra tankard of whatever's on offer.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take my tankard and the extra one, and I'm going to go and sit at the table with this hooded fella.
Okay.
And I'm going to do that. Nice hood.
Nice hood. Have you been here long?
Oh, only a few minutes. We just literally came out of the sea, and we're just here to recuperate and get used to the, used to the atmospheric pressure again. It's I feel both light and heavy at the same time. It's very strange.
You should stretch your legs along the beach. The view is to die for.
Yeah, I saw it
Give
on the way
me
up.
a insight check.
God damn it!
It just seems to be a strange individual who got almost a doppelganger of yourself. Only no incredible endless sunglasses, so not quite as good.
Just asking you. So, what do you do around here? What's good to do in this part of the world? I've never been here.
Oh, you know, see the sights, meet interesting people, drink tolerable drinks. There's people that need to belong in places and interesting encounters to complete.
What kind of encounters?
It seems the types of people that belong in places where they aren't at that moment need to get more worldly experience. You can tell he's speaking very deliberately.
Is there any role that I can
Give me
as
another
to whether
insight
Bennett
check.
would understand? Damn it!
You can tell a few things. You get the feeling he's speaking in Thieves' Cant, but you don't quite know the same ciphers. The Thieves' Cant is a way of basically speaking common or certain phrases in common to give different messages. It's a spy language, essentially. But if you don't have the same ciphers, if you don't understand the different metaphors, there's easy to get things misaligned.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't actually roll anything.
No, but yeah, the reason you're able to tell that he's trying to speak in a type of Thieves' Cant is that you know certain ciphers yourself. Just the ones he's using don't seem to ring too many bells, other than you. From what you can make out from what he said, he's definitely been placed here for a reason. Likely is involved with a similar faction to yourself, and is on a mission for that. Another agent of Erebus.
Right, as Bennett, obviously very good with these cants. Me, Gaz, useless, can't speak it. So is there any way that I can communicate with him, or that Bennett can communicate with him? The message that I want to get across is, so what does Erebus command of you? But obviously in Thieves' Camp, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't personally know what
It's
I would put
whether or
across
not
as.
he'd also be able to identify your dialect of Thieves' Cant. So let me give him a quick roll. Wait. Okay, that's not good. I don't know why it's done that. There we go. Roll20 wants to load it. I'll just do it this way instead. While that's loading. Okay. So you're asking him, why is he here?
Yeah, but specifically the fact that I want him to know that I am also an agent of Erebus, but I don't want everybody else around me to know it.
He gives a few other sort of strange explanations and strange sort of advice on like where to go, and seems to say in Thieves' Camp, from what you can pick up, that he's investigating the undead in the desert. There's something that is causing them to remain. And that is an affront to Erebus.
Do you mind if I also looked into this?
Yeah, he responds with it is the duty of all of those dedicated to death to make sure that those affronts to life, the balance between life and death, are disposed of and stopped for the sake of all people. So, in short, yes. Please help.
Brilliant. Relay the information to the people in my party, and I will help where I can.
Okay.
And I have no idea how you guys sat there and talked about what, like, how did you walk back over? And that's what came. I thought you guys were talking about something else. She just shakes her head, confused. Let's go help him. Bennett, you're an enigma. She, like, pats him on the back.
Due to having not been on dry land for such a long time, Bennett falls over.
Bennett, no! She, like, picks him up by by his cloak, like a scruff, like a kitten, and, like, gently sets him back down and, like, pats off any of the dirt. You okay?
Fine. Yeah, I just need to get my land legs back.
He grew in his sea legs just in time to need his land legs back.
Guts will, like, stoop down and take the little flippers off.
Well, that would also
There you
help.
go.
Yeah, everyone's still in their flippers.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about them.
Maybe you'll have an easier time. I don't know.
But yeah,
She'll
Bennett
tuck-
wants to get it. Bennett wants to get the point across that the possibility of a horde of undead out in the desert needs to be looked into. Everything living around it. So
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
saying
a
we have to
horde.
set off now, but just put it in the quest log. And we'll look into it.
Yeah, a horde of undead does sound pretty bad. Hey, Zolk. You want to help me and Sogeg see if we can explode them like that red cap?
Zolk's not currently here.
Zolk's in his own little world. He can't hold his beer very well.
He'll pat him on the head and walk up to Sogeg. Hey, Sogeg, she says very loudly.
This is something I thought of, didn't we?
I ignore.
Like 10 minutes.
I ignore. I don't respond to Sogeg.
Oh my god. Jim! She shouts at him.
Oh, it's even worse. I look and I just nod and go, yo. I'm Jim.
So Bennett just
Name.
said there's a bunch of stuff for you to go kill. How does that sound? Old Sonny Jimmy boy.
I just Sogek just it's just the best day ever. Sand's back, feels coarse on his skin. It's awesome.
You got to hear
I'd
about
love to
everyone in
go
Akros
kill
thinks he's
things.
dead.
I mean, all the
Good
more
day.
for me to come back
Yeah.
from life. It's basically Jesus. I've literally set up my Jesus art. My Jesus art is happening. First child of Mogis.
So, is there, now that everyone's had a turn doing stuff in the Salt and Sand Tavern, is there anyone else you want to talk to or interact with?
Would like to talk to Bear Man.
Yes.
Who would like to talk to the Bear Man?
Go for it, Zolt. You've not had a round yet.
Well,
I don't really know what to say to Batman.
I'll give you some time then. Mine's gonna be pretty quick. I'll saunter over to Bear Man.
there's the group around this table seem to be swapping stories about.
It's got to squeeze in here.
Shove past everybody. They seem to be swapping stories about their adventures out, travelling into the desert of Phobos, the different ruins they've found, and treasure they've managed to collect. All these daring tales of escaping traps and slaying monsters and escaping by the skin of their teeth, with treasure falling out of every pocket.
I know how to do this. I pull up a chair or two, and I slam my elbow on the table, and I look to Bear Man. I say, Bear Man, I am Horseman. No one else here looks like they're big enough for a good old arm wrestle.
I mean, the two Minotaur in the top corner are arm wrestling.
Nah, but they look too small. They're not buff enough.
Okay.
You've
Oh,
seen the neck on this bear, it's ridiculous.
yes, we can do lots of arm wrestlings. Yes, it is good to meet. I am Boros. And he holds
Boros,
out
I
a
warn
wide
you.
paw towards you.
I warn you, these scars on my face were fighting a hideous muscle shark. 3-armed shark, bigger than this tavern. So I slam a powerful arm on the table, and I just grip his hand.
A mighty muscle shark. I have not heard such a story so far. But I have beaten massive hill giants and starved creatures of the desert. Mighty is Boros.
Might be my new favourite person, Boris. We both speak a big game, but let's let our rippling arms make a point for us. Yeah.
I don't know why Roll20 just doesn't want to open any of the character sheets today, but I will.
I can sneak a win. Is it? I'm guessing athletic.
It'll be an athletics check, yeah.
Come on, an advantage. Oh, that's a good one.
Give me that
Pretty decent.
plus.
I don't want to hurt the guy. I don't want to hurt the little fella, but
Yeah, only just.
oh, thank God. I make you look hard.
It was a tough
Nikes.
fight. He puts a lot of force behind it, but you meet it. And after a few moments of just these two unstoppable forces colliding, Sogegs wins out and beats the bear in an arm wrestling contest, to which he just bellows in joyous laughter. Oh, it has been a while since I have been beaten so thoroughly. Come, tell me name, and I will buy you many drink.
Boros, it was a good fight. My name is Jim Egg. I am Just a humble traveller. A weary man. Let me give you a present, though, as I quickly shuffle, because that was a great arsenal. And I find a javelin, and I very, very quickly scribble out the S-O, and I put in a J. And I say, Boros, I have questions for you, but we must drink first.
But first,
And
it
here-
is drinking time. Marcus, bring us
Yay.
drink! As he yells towards the barkeep, as he sighs and fills two more
Freebies.
two more mugs of beer with some garlic flavoured beer and brings them across.
Oh, nice. I'm going to be very safe and give my javelin to the drunk bear.
This is mighty weapon, but kind of puny point, no? Doesn't match the Boros' big axe. As he pulls a huge great axe from beneath the table. This has killed many a monster. No trap is able to be withstood if it is broken, yes?
Wow, if we're comparing big things. As I reach over, I start to pull out the Zeiten. Shaft just keeps getting longer and longer. I just say, behold, gore drinker,
Oh,
mightiest stabber.
a mighty weapon. Much better than puny stick, yes. Now that is proper adventurer's weapon. Worth plenty gold, yes.
Perhaps.
I am not
You
trying
make
to
a
buy. No, not trying to buy. I am thinking of your abilities to go out and get riches from the ground, to pillage and steal and take from the desert from your own might. Yes. That is Boris's way. This is the adventuring way. We go out and claim what no other has claimed and sell it on for massive profits, yes.
I raise a glass in toast and say, we speak the same language, my friend. And I'll drink the beer.
He's already chugged his way through the first mug and he's already screaming across towards the next one.
I put an arm and I say, tell me, friend, I've got adventuring to do, and I've got skulls to crack. And I've heard of some scorpion cultists in the sands. I want their gold statues.
Oh,
Tell me
they
where they
have
are.
many gold and trinkets and these shiny rocks that crackle when you throw them. Very fun. They are all over desert. Just keep going until you find something not made of sand, yes?
Tell me, the Boros, you seen any big, not sand things with lots of cultists?
I have come across these gold temples in the deeper deserts, but Boros is far too big and strong to be stopped by puny humans and the little insects.
So they've already been pillaged, the ones you found.
The ones I have found have been completely pillaged, but these scorpion cultists are very tenacious. They don't give up easy and keep getting these gold and riches back for us to pillage even more. Hey!
Be nice to that. I drink another drink with him. And as I sort of like losing my bearings a bit, I'm just going to ask him straight up. Boros, you are mighty bear man. Or are you mighty man bear? Tell me. What
That
are
is
you?
personal question, Jimmy friend.
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Very well. It is mighty story of how Boros became Boros the Beef of Bears. Of how I was once a small and skinny baby Bobo and not the mighty Boros. And then the bear god gave me strength to turn into a mighty man bear. As he says all this while flexing and posing. And definitely not destroying his voice trying to do that.
We did a very quick intelligence check. No, we're fine. We're fine. Me? I'm just a regular old centaur. Some say that my mum and dad were trying to go for a half horse, half upper horse. But accidentally got half man, half horse.
It's the classic, if a mermaid and a minotaur had a baby, what if they got inherited both half human parts? They just had a human baby.
I look to Boros and I just look at him and I sort of like sway in a bit. I go, Boros, I've got a really cool trick for you. Don't tell anyone I told you this, but I've got a super secret symbol. See, in my travels, I've met some god-fearing folk. And I don't care for them much unless they can give me powers to kill people and explode people. Do you hear me?
Boris
do right.
Boris hears, and Boris knows the power.
You ready for this? This is an ultimate power move. As I very hush, I make sure no one else is watching me. I do a very quick Pogis symbol above my head. And as I do it, I will glow my eyes red. I say, Boris, you do this. I've heard that actually one of the Pantheon likes it. And it makes your muscles bigger. And if you say that you claim the skull for the skull throne, it makes you, like, super powerful.
No, the Boris, he cares only for strength and power. And already knows the wrath that the bear god has given Boros. The mighty Mogis. Bear god.
Wait, did you just say that Mogis is the bear god?
That's how he seems to interpret
He's bear
him.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was going to be. And in this, Sogeg just like.
The gods do
He just
manifest themselves differently to their different followers, and while Mogis is most typically known as a minotaur,
shaking me.
he's not exactly been a minotaur to you, has he?
I say you're kind of shaking me. I thought that, I just at this point I'm just going to give Boris a hug because he and I are the same, and I only see goodness in him. A perfect form, a very reasonable human being.
Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh god, he crushed my spine. No.
As he gives you a solid bear hug in return. And I'll go ahead and do... It's only 4 points of damage, it's fine.
I look to him and I just say, Boris, we speak the same language. But you're going to have to work on those muscles, friend. It'll take many a year before you can crush the spine of Jim Fasto.
Good catch. Does anyone else want to speak to Boris?
I like him.
Zolk, did you not want to talk to the bear, or did he already answer your questions in Sogeg's monologue?
I saw the glorious. That's all I needed. It was beautiful.
I tried. So, is there anyone else in the tavern anyone wants to interact with?
Anyone actually poke this guy. Sergey's just going to be like throwing up a bit out. It's been a while since. I get the feeling if you've been underwater for like 5 months and then you suddenly had loads of beer, you'd not be too well. But someone actually poked this dude.
I mean, Bennett's had his full conversation with him.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I thought a different one. I'm being high. I'm being crazy.
Too much drinking with the bear.
Too much drinking with the bear. Disgraceful. Oh, there's some
Hanging out with
minotaurs.
the dogs.
It's just okay. It's too loud in here. Just pay attention to the dogs.
You hear a drunken Scots in the corner with like these guys just trying to explain what muscles and monsters is, like the rules and how you roll dice. But it sounds like there's a lot to keep track of, but it's really fun. They're just looking at her funny.
So, anything else you want to do while in the tavern, or shall I move you back to the main Perseus map?
Did we get any? I'm trying to think back some of the conversations.
It was information
I don't
overload,
know.
I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot to absorb, but I feel like somewhere there was a bit of a thread with the Oni, wasn't there? Salt monster. Your gold.
The closest
armor.
you've got with specifically the Oni, the Acroans have seen multiple Oni, but haven't really like interacted with them. They told you to speak to the bear about him.
We did find out we need to go to the desert.
You found out
Also-
you need to go to the desert because that's where all of these treasure hunters seem to get their loot from. It's where the scorpion cultists are, and it's where a bunch of undead people are.
Yeah, the undead problem seems semi-urgent.
But definitely make it clear to the party we shouldn't actually kill the scorpion people. I think they're going to be my best friends. This was all a clever ruse.
Yeah.
Don't mind about the undead.
Chimgig was on point with his deception today.
His mustache at this point is just like it's turned into a beard. It's like folded over.
Well,
It's just got a
his
goatee
mustache
now.
is a full spiral now. You've twisted it that much. Okay. Is that everything in the tavern, or does anyone want to go for any of the remaining people? Like I said, there are the Minotaurs having their little contests. There's the shady-looking people gambling. There's the adventurers with Big Boris the bear, the Acroan hoplites. The mysterious dude in the corner that Bennett has discovered is another assassin of assassin of Erebus. Sorry. And then, of course, you've got Frankos still cooking in the kitchen.
Go back to just opening and closing the door and
There's that as well. You can just go and play with the windows if you want.
You just see Sergey opening with hand and the other just closing and opening the door, their window.
Speaking of Meta One, can you tell that there's a door here? But
Yes.
it's locked.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Cool little wobble symbol if you try and open it.
Oh, cool.
Is it?
Wobble.
Oh yeah. So
Oh.
it does.
Fair enough. Well, I've thought of what I want to do with the bear.
What would you like to do with the bear?
So it was Barus, wasn't it?
His name is Borus. Borus. Borus.
Mr. Boris, I need to know. We have an Oni problem. How much for you to deal with Oni problem?
Oh, I barely heard from down there. What is this you say, Div? Oni? Problems? We don't do problems with Oni. They are good adventuring types. They have very good skills at getting loot out of places people don't want loot taken from, yes? Good thieves and stealers, yes.
That's exactly the problem. They stole from us.
Well, that doesn't sound like a problem. That sounds like a story.
Oh, fuck, I want to kill him.
Boris is the best.
God damn it. Well, I tried.
No follow-up questions from that? Okay.
I can't think of anything else.
It is
could
not
show you-
common to see Onis around here. I have dealt with a few. There was one that came through not too far long ago, probably about a week or so, asking about going into desert and looking for some treasures.
He singed.
Some like liquid thing they were looking for, like drops of something strange. So we gave them instructions, tells them what to look out for out in the deserts, and off he went.
Was he a bit singed at all?
He seemed waterlogged, like he just stepped out of water. But been at sea far too long, maybe needed the dry air of the desert.
Ah. Which direction did he go?
Desert direction.
Nice.
Literally, like the one main road out of the town. There's two directions out of Perseus: the harbour or the desert.
Fair enough. That's better than what I thought of in the direction of the sand. Yes.
You went further inland, follow the river. Well, when it starts to dry up, that is where you go. Yes.
Much appreciated, Boris.
Good little one.
I'll chuck him 5 gold. I'll chuck him 5 gold for the trouble of telling me.
He immediately lobs it across the room at the bartender. More grounds!
Boris might have a problem. Do an intervention episode.
He's drinking the blood of the bear god. Skunts, I think you were trying to interrupt me at one stage and I spoke over you. But what more you wanted to add to that with Boris?
Oh, I was gonna make a joke with the granny pocket. That's all. We're not gonna shove him in. It's okay. I want to, but I won't.
Oh god.
I just spent too much money on a PR stunt, apparently, for the good dudes to then turn around and like just stick some unsuspecting guy just enjoying his night into the granny pocket.
He's just a fun-loving guy that's just happy to tell stories and make money stealing stuff from old ancient ruins.
Exactly, and Granny's been like on her own for so long. She had a thing with Mahadi. He's clearly not like back into it. So he's handsome. No scorpion tail, but
He has kind of
Granny would
dashing
love him.
beard.
it's like her obsession. She thinks Granny would love everything.
Just trying to find a new partner for Granny.
Actually, hey, yeah,
Gonna
Scott's
hook
gonna
up
go up to
Granny.
him. Hey, so you seem to be living life pretty hard.
It is only way to be living life. This is Boris's methodologies.
Is Boris have any like a wife or a girlfriend or a special person in your life.
Boris has many special people in his life. Many people that want to see the might of the bear.
Oh, you see, She opens her shirt just a little bit.
Oh, God.
My granny hasn't, like, been on any dates in a minute. Like, hey, Granny, she shouts in her shirt. I found a really cute guy. She, like, offers him to stick his head in her shirt, which is clearly, like, a void as she pulls the cloth further out from her chest.
Make a perception, no, a persuasion check.
No. I would like to use my charge of beguiling eye.
Remind me what beguiling eye does.
God. I believe it's I could get one free cast of suggest.
Fuck. Okay. Okay, give me a moment.
Whoopsie.
Will the character sheet open this time? No.
Once
Yeah.
per long rest, you may cast suggestion without spending a spell slot. Charisma is my casting ability for this.
So, what
on
would
my
the save be, and what are you suggesting he do?
She's gonna look him dead in the eye and just be like, "Go on a date with Ekidana," as she's like holding her shirt open.
Right.
And then I don't think it's on my sheet to cast. I think that's the only thing I'm confused about.
It'll be a wisdom check. Wisdom save.
Okay.
So, okay. Okay, he passes. Quite successfully, actually.
I mean, she did call her granny first. That's pretty indicative of maybe a different age gap he might not be interested in. So
That is a little suspect, no friend. Don't want to be sticking heads in clothes and meeting ancient grandmas, and especially if you're going as far as to die. And John, Boris, I know everybody wants a taste of the bear, but consent is important, no?
That's a fair point. She closes the shirt, and she's just like trying
Eh,
to think of other.
no harm, no foul. You send your granny Boris's love, but Boris is going to stay here where he can be making money and friends and sharing the bear with any who wants to share in him. Send your granny to me, maybe, huh?
Well, that's the problem. She can't leave.
Well, maybe there is treasures in the desert that could help her. Maybe a wheelchair or something.
No, it's not like that. Oh, Scuds. She's got no point. She doesn't understand why she would conceal any information, so. Well, Granny's an Archon, and she can't leave because some dumb rules won't let her. Unless you want to help me.
Oh, you believe every story you told, yes. No grandma is some archon, that is bedtime stories.
I have plenty of stuff from my bedroom to prove it's real.
Oh, fuck better, okay. Which one are you pulling out?
Oh God. One's a creature, isn't it?
The Pteraptor is essentially halfway between a. It's like a Velociraptor cockatrice type creature.
Oh god.
Let me see if I can actually find if I've put the Pteraptors actually in here. I should have done that. They should be somewhere.
Okay, does anybody want to stop Scuts or not? Like, please, I'm gonna pull the thing out unless somebody tells me that they don't want me to pull out
Oh, it's under Granny's creations. Yeah, there it is.
a flying cockatrice. Is that what you said?
Okay.
Pterodactyl and a cockatrice. Sh- let's not complicate life. As she shoves the head of it back in. The head comes out clearly,
Okay,
though.
give me a
Like,
I'm going to
pulled out part
quickly
of the horn or something.
refresh roll 20, see if that helps me load it at all. But it doesn't seem to be. That's not good.
Then with and she'll stick the the head of the monster back in.
I mean, I'll still bring the monster out so you know what it was.
Okay.
Let me just grab everything again.
Like part of its foot or something that's like too large to be fitting where she's pulling it out of.
Will that work?
Oh, wait. I have to put this back. That's for Granny's snacks later. She wrestles it back in.
Okay, it's just that the token's not working. That's irritating. So I will do this instead. So that's the token form. Yeah, they can essentially fling their feathers, and if their feather hits you, that part of your body starts turning to stone.
Oh.
I mean, unless somebody wants me to pull it out for a pet.
That is fair. So they are actually only challenge rating a half. They can be made pets fairly easily.
Well, she'll stuff them back in for later. But she clearly pulled some sort of monstrosity out of her pouch. And she'll hand him the creepy embalmed scale of an
Amphicybina, the two-headed snake that was once Pogeg and once Doom Noodle.
Sweet. She'll just hand it to him and be like, look, Granny's kind of complicated to deal with, and sometimes she does air quotes, get along with everybody, and she, like, tries not to think about the whole quilting thing. You might end up with, like, some wings. But, like, Granny's so awesome. She's so creative. And, even if you don't want to go on a date with her, you should keep this in case we do manage to let her out. And she's going to hand him the little scale, because Granny would know it's definitely from Scuts.
Let me take it out of your bag. It's
Then she'll go walk off and start talking to Marcus about the same thing. We don't have to rediscuss that.
He does take the scale, kind of confused, but you bought him a drink, so he will accept the gesture. So, anything else while you are in the tavern?
These minotaurs.
Yeah, they are currently engaging in various contests, whether it's drinking contests, arm wrestling, just butting heads, that kind of thing. But they seem to be having fun with it, just being jovial about it.
Pogeg's just going to do the Pogeg symbol at them.
They don't really pay much attention. They're too focused on each other.
Yeah, I was assuming that. It'll be wrong to interrupt them. That's what Mogis would want.
Fair. Oh, anything else? Okay, I will move you back to the main map. Pseusis. So, with the salt and sand investigated, with information learned about all sorts of things, both the local area, the desert that has all sorts of monsters, cultists, and undead in there, as well as treasures and secret ruins. You also know that this place is occupied by Akros. It is part of the Acronian Empire, where they allow for both overhand and underhanded trades to go on, so long as it all benefits Akros itself. You know that Erebus has a stake in here somewhere, and that as far as the people of Akros know, Sogeg and a lot of the royal family are either dead or in some kind of turmoil.
We have a time to not been prying eyes. I just say to the party, I think we'll have more dealings here, but I need to find these cultists. I need to find out who Ishak is, and to get proof I really am as royal as I'm pretty sure I am. And I deserve money and kingdom. And if it helps you suggest that you should go, I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of booty as well. Gold for all. And even some return to put back in the no-no hole and say, bad return. Go back to sleep. I was saying all of that is my only direction. Walk into the desert and look for something that isn't sand.
Yeah, pretty much. Just follow the river until it starts to dry out when the desert fully engulfs the area, and just keep wandering. There's a lot of ruins there.
I mean, I'll be fine, but do you all need...
That's true. Do you have enough supplies to make it through the desert?
I could train you all how to do this, and I'll do the thing where I sand and go underground again. My head shows.
Scott starts trying to burrow down just like Sogeg.
The secret is to have 8 legs.
I think the shiny hard carapace also helps as she stands back up, rubbing her sanded bum.
Just all covered in sand, just all matted in your fur.
She looks very unhappily at him.
Well, you should have,
Sogeg.
because I know Nadrin can create infinite clean drinking water, so you're fine for being dehydrated. I'm sure someone got Lehman's tiny hut, so you've got a bit of shelter as well as other
See,
stuff.
what's not fair is I got tiny hut and I can't fit in it.
That's
It's so sad.
We need-
Specifically, you can't go.
yeah. Size large
So
creatures can't
sad.
fit in it. Yeah.
So
Aw.
cool.
Oh, it's almost like they should have made a Sogeg's slightly larger hut.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, because burbles can't fit in there either.
Yeah. I guess with the
Maybe
two
you can
fire
ask-
ones.
Maybe you can ask Mogus to help you make it a bit bigger.
Sogeg, what if you
Do think he'd
cast
do
it?
that?
And then I went inside and I pushed on it as hard as I could to see if I could make it bigger.
I think that'd work. I don't know much about arcane arts and the spells I got by being screamed at. But I'm
These are
very
spells
confident.
that were screamed into your mind. So
I wonder if we actually know
So,
these
like-
spells.
Maybe if I shout into your ear, it'll make it bigger. She's like, ah, into your helmet.
You could always try asking Mogus or Pogus or both
Yeah.
and seeing if they will assist you and make it bigger so that you
Who
can
knows?
fit in it.
We
They
could
might
even
be generous.
force. Someone got Dimension Door. You could turn a Dimension Door in my tiny hut, sneak in. I'll never know.
I'm
There's
sure
possibilities.
someone also got
Have it.
the something private sanctum
No.
that might
Straight
also
up there.
help.
Nice. Nice.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, there you go. Zoltz
Modern
has Modern Canaan's private sanctum.
Cool.
And a door.
This all sounds like we need directionless into the desert
But
right
do
now.
you
It
have
sounds like we're as
food
prepared.
for the desert? That's the thing.
I mean, we'll just eat as we go, won't it?
It's true.
I mean,
you
if-
can hunt.
I have a once per day gnome that we can eat, and Scuts can make chocolate
mean,
flavored.
For one, it's already chocolate flavored because when it dies, it explodes. So it depends on whether or not you
Yeah,
can.
that's true.
And I made sure to put the wording that it's slightly chocolate flavored gore.
Yeah. So we got that.
And I have the foraging skill, so maybe we could see if there's any sort of cactus or lizards I can snack on. We can find a. I don't know. I feel like it would be really scarce, so it wouldn't make sense to find.
I'm just gonna- Are there any guards out here?
Not that you can immediately see.
I'm not going to do it. That would be very stupid. I'm just going to wing it and just see if by chance could give me something useful that like is edible. But I'm not going to do that. Horrible feeling it's going to go wrong. Press the button.
You never know.
I mean, we could just buy some food.
There's also that.
We never thought of it. It's
I mean,
so simple.
Frankos did just give everybody some Frankos pops.
I couldn't keep it though. I'd eat it too quick. Can't control myself trying to crank a spot.
Could ask Frankos for some cured meat. Maybe he can make us some jerky for the road.
I vote the wisest of the group hold on to it though and ration it out. Definitely just have mine just too quick.
Who
Pace
is the
myself.
wisest of the group? That's a good question.
Oh my gosh.
Horrible feeling is like Bennett. Bennett's wise.
Not really.
I swear if it's Zolk, I'm going to be very angry.
I've got a 12.
Oh god.
My wisdom's a 10.
I think both Zolk is both the most intelligent and wise of the party.
Guts and
Oh.
Mr. Burbles also have 12s.
Oh.
Wow. Everything is accurate.
Niels is 13.
I
Neil
don't
is the
think he's.
wise
I mean,
one.
I could
How does Sogek only have 10? Is clearly the wisest of peoples, the most level-headed and rational person.
think Neil is currently in the lead.
Wisest is a dog with ugly eyes. What a party!
it's decided. Neil gets all the jerky.
Yeah, that's the rule, isn't it? Should we quickly ask Frankos? Frankos,
Hey, dude.
jerky is up. Jerky is up. We've got a hankering.
Oh, I've been practicing with my salt making skills, dude. I've got some like super good cured meats, dude. Even like the weakest constitutions can totally handle it. Might dry you out a little bit though, dude. So be careful. We'll give you. We'll give you 10 rations of Frankos jerky.
Neil. We
So
put that in
mark
Neil's
that down in the
inventory,
party inventory.
yeah.
Neil doesn't have a bag. He's a dog.
Strap it to him.
Just stick it to his, because he's gooey on the outside. Just stick
Yeah.
it to that.
That still has some like hide or something that she got off of creature, and she has plenty of rope from the docks. She'll just make him a little like pocket harness on a. She'll make him like a little fanny pack. It's just like tied around his waist with a little sack. Don't put the jerky
Giving
in it.
Neil a bum bag.
Gotta give Neil the bum bag. It's a translation difference. We don't call it fanny pack over here.
Oh God, that's right.
British.
Because it's fanny.
Yeah, we don't call it a fanny pack.
That's
Because
hilarious.
fanny means something different to British
Very,
people.
very, very different.
Very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just a fan that's on really high setting. Really breezy.
So it's a bum bag because it goes on your bum.
I love playing this game with you guys.
Extra
The
free
random
fantasy
culture shock
vibes.
is always great.
Yeah.
I forget about that. We were laughing about Growler the other night.
Apparently, it's
Oh,
something to do
for
with
God's
beer
sake.
for Americans.
It's like a gallon of beer.
It's
That you
not
could,
that
like-
over here.
It's a yeah.
This is definitely not.
Yeah,
over.
You get, yeah, it is. It is a growler. It's a recognised measure of beer. Yeah, you go to quite a lot of craft beer places now. You can go there and get a growler filled. I've got a Brewdog growler in my kitchen,
There you go.
which I brought back from the brewery in Aberdeen, full of dogma. I think it was when I brought it back.
That is not what I'd known it would mean, to be honest.
Oh no, it does mean something completely different.
Yes.
It's, a growler is just trying to think how many pints you get out of a growler. It's usually like about 3, possibly 4 pints.
Anyway, back to Theros.
Frankos, why are you talking about fanny pack?
Well,
We have
you
adventuring
were
to do.
building a bag for Neil, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, surely the correct choice is we just give it to Granny and we'll get it here at some point.
Possible. I'll
I've
do
got-
like where they do with the Saint Bernards, where they do the collar around the neck with the whiskey
Yeah.
in it. We'll just do like the little collar around Neil, but it's got beef jerky in the satchel.
There you
There you
go.
go.
I feel ready. I feel
The
ready for some
wisest of
adventuring.
us all.
Hail Neil.
So, is there anything else you want to do in Perseus before pushing into the desert and seeing what you find?
We're ready. Ready as we're ever going to be.
Ready?
Which is not very much.
Okay.
Never really ready to do anything.
I was really ready to explode that red cat.
Do that one for now.
I've never been readier. Oh, we're not ready.
So you push
Not ready.
into the desert, following some dirt tracks from the previous adventurers heading into the sands. As you travel further along, the tracks get further and further apart, mostly sort of displaced by sand dunes and the wind. It's this oppressive heat of pushing further in. And you get to where there's a small ridge of rock in and amongst a few trees and other rocky formations, where one of these travellers, either a trader, an adventurer of some kind, did not survive their trip back, fell right at the finish line. As you find the remains of a humanoid and their steed being ripped apart by strange crab-like creatures. Have I got a bigger image of them? There we go.
Oh, it's just like being home.
Big crab-like creatures that hide within the skulls like shells.
Behold, I am bigger crab. Worship me.
From what you can see, they are just ripping apart. You can't really tell how long this person's been dead for, but they are just ripping apart what's left of the carcass, fighting over each other for little scraps. It's pretty metal.
I would definitely say to the party that you must respect the rules of the desert here. It's kill or be killed. These beasts have claimed their prize. I think we should let them be. Because it's pretty metal. It's pretty badass.
They're pretty badass.
I do the rocker symbol and Sergey put. Yeah. Yes. I'm guessing they're not like looking at us, are they? They're just sort of doing their own deal.
They seem to be mostly focused on their food. I'd say this person must have died fairly recently, as there's still enough meat on it to feed all of these crabs. Clearly just about travelling back, but didn't quite make it to town, falling off the side of this little cliff face.
Harrison.
So it's whether you want to investigate it at all or just move on.
This beautiful map been created. Let's ignore it.
I mean, it's entirely up to you. It's whether you want to pilfer from the first dead body you find or just, carry on. As they were clearly running back with something, and you've seen the clientele at Perseus.
That is true. Do these... I look to the party. I'm not going to make a decision here. Sergey's got his eye on the prize. But I never say no to bloodshed. Why is? Everyone thinking. Pogig will ready his horn of blasting just as a precaution.
I'm thinking, do I have any AoE?
I've got a horn of blasting. Explode them. And explode myself.
Can Scuds try to sneak up and catch one?
Oh.
You can certainly try. Make a stealth check.
Got this. Ogeg will help with some sneaky hoof noises.
Are you still in the centaur costume?
No, I heroically break out of it. Behold, it was me, Sogeg, all along.
Okay, let's go to make a stealth check for me.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Okay, you sneak on forward.
Hold on. Did we have a long rest?
You did have a long rest.
So failing successfully would have recharged?
Failing successfully would have recharged.
Then I would like to use my one charge.
Okay. You sneak on forward before not quite used to walking in this deeper sand. You sort of trip over yourself. But as the sound and dust cloud sort of raises up, it also covers your approach, making it so that the crabs have no idea that you're coming.
I would just like to sneak towards the closest one and try to quickly scoop it into my shirt.
Okay.
So I guess this one's at the furthest back.
You're gonna reach down the cliff face and just grab it by the skull and shove it in the bag.
Hoist it right up and into the shirt, yeah.
Okay. Give me a athletics check.
Roll 20, please be kind. Hey, it was! Oh, thank you.
Okay. I'll
Thank you.
count that as 2 successes of the 3 you need. Go ahead and give me one more as your second attack, essentially. Okay, you manage to catch it, snag it back quite quickly, and in its panic, stuff it into the shirt.
Scott is
I
now
will-
going to just sidle backwards to the
Scuds,
party.
I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay,
Connect.
carry on.
He just carefully walks back to the party, trying not to alert the crabs, and then, did you see
So we
that, guys?
caught that one. Give me a stealth check, Scads. See if the other crabs noticed that you did that.
3 quits in a row? Oh.
Yeah, they don't seem to have noticed. There's just less competition for food. If you
Oh, yeah.
add a bone crab into the granny bag, into the collection.
So now that we've done the reasonable thing, can I do something?
Sure.
So I'd like to just stand here and use my the skull. Can I twin spell spells that I didn't actually cast because I'm casting it with the skull?
That is a good question. What's the rules as written for that particularly? When you cast a spell that targets only one creature and doesn't have a range of self, does it target only one creature? Were you going to try
Is a
and
line on the
double?
floor one target?
Yeah, you were going to try and double lightning strike, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't do that one.
Okay. Well, I tried.
Are we leaving them alone or are we going to attack them?
I'm hoping they all die from this.
I can horn them.
They are
I have
tiny
a thing.
crabs, so
What would you like to do?
I have a big AoE thing I can do.
Oh God.
let's do that
Oh
instead.
yeah.
Let's have some fun. You've got a bunch of bunched up crabs here. Go and mess them up.
Forgot we had a mage.
So there's a level 5 lightning bolt.
Okay, so
in a
there's a
straight
lightning
line
bolt.
from that.
Okay. God, I actually have to roll saves for these because I might survive it. Alright. So let me have a look at the.
Would be 5 foot wide. Oh god, yeah, that.
There we go. Okay.
That's-
That's 1, 2. Lower than 12. Six dice. We'll go. Dead.
Poor little crabs.
And these two take half damage, which would be 17, I believe. Okay, you zapped. Ring the bell.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Look, my token when I do this. When it wants me to. I may need to ref.
It's a heavy bell. It takes a
Go
lot
on,
of
can
time.
you ring it? There we go. Okay, everybody within 20 feet of Sulk needs to make a dexterity saving throw. We'll take 2d10. Let's put the radius marker on.
Oh, you little rat bastard.
Yeah, there you go. That's everybody other than
Oh,
Pogeg.
it's not Pokemon though.
Everybody
And then the top
other than
range of
Pogeg.
The only person who's good at dexterity saving throw, although Bennett just nailed it.
14 to
Dexterity
me.
saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
That's a good save.
the only person not at disadvantage is Sogeg and Pogeg.
Oh yeah, disadvantages. Well,
I'll
Mr.
roll again.
Burbles wouldn't be at disadvantage.
Got it. You can roll 24 again. Easy.
Okay, so we've got a 19 for Sogeg, a 5 for Scuds, a 5 for Nadrin, 14 for Neil, 9 for Mr. Burbles, and a 16 for Bennett. So it's only Sogeg and Bennett that don't take. Oh, and Neil that don't take damage from this. Sulk, roll 2d10.
Neither of you are high enough for my flash of genius to save you. So there's 18.
Oh. 18 radiant damage to all those that failed that. Oof. So that's Scott's, Nadrin, and Mr. Burbles. They'll take 18 points of damage from Zolk. Note that was from Zolk. He even rolled the dice, so...
I'm not sure what's going on with my health, but I don't think any damage has happened since I
No,
last
there's been no
rest.
damage. I don't think it restored when you had your long rest. I think it was still carrying over from before then, so you should be at full health. Same for Mr. Burbles.
I'll figure it out anyways. I'll take the 80.
Yeah. With that, I need to. I'll allow Nadrin you can do your area of effect thing as well before we roll initiative.
Okay,
In fact, we'll
so-
save the initiative for next week. We'll let Nadrin do the exploding first.
So, question. Do we care about if this person was carrying anything?
Wouldn't that be the reason we're doing this?
I thought it was for murder. I just thought it was for the sake of murder. You
Well,
saw something
yes, but no.
alive and thought, well, let's not let it be alive anymore.
Okay, I'll do something else.
I don't know. I think you should go with plan A. You never know, it might survive it.
I have like 3 options. So that's option 1 gone. Let's go for
Just on the back burner. It's not gone completely. You never know.
Ice Storm. 20-foot radius thing.
It'd cover all of them.
Yeah.
So again, there are 2, 3, 4, 8. Roll 8. Right. So 23 damage. Three. That one's dead. Okay. They are all significantly injured. And the entire area is difficult terrain for a while as it's just hammering hail down on these desert dwelling creatures. Any other quick area of effects before we've put a pause for today?
Mr. Oh, I don't know if you can. No,
Okay.
I'll do some research.
That's fair. We'll save it for next time. Let's put a pause there for today. And we will pick up next time with actually rolling initiative. Although, to be honest, I probably won't. I'll just let you continue blowing up the crowds because there's no way they're all going to survive to actually do anything. Which is fine. We like that. They were there as cannon fodder anyway. Yeah. Piety point. Let's just go straight to piety points. You get a point for playing. Did you complete your minor divine agenda? I did a goof and didn't give you agendas this week, so I'll give everybody a point just for sticking to your play characters. Did you perform a ritual sacrifice or great action in the name of your god? I will give give a point to Scuds for attempting to pick up the bear for Granny. I will give a point. I don't know whether to give or take a point away from Sogeg. That's the thing. I will give a point to Sogeg because even while trying to keep your cover when everybody toasted to Iris, the god of victory, you managed to subvert it as well as praise Pogis. And did you act in a way that exemplifies the ideals of your patron gods? That's a yes for everybody. Everyone did pretty well with their deity actions. Story points. You get a point for playing. Did you overcome a great challenge using violent or non-violent means? No great challenges this week. Story points. Did you make?
I feel like we did, but not worth a story point.
Oh
We
god,
found Frankos again.
We all learned to walk on land again. That's got to be.
that's yeah. Finding Frankos wasn't a great challenge. It was more just. It's with the,
No.
it's
No,
the
I'm saying-
next one is what that one is going to give you. It's the did you make a significant discovery or unearth some lost history? You all get a point for that one because you made multiple. Not only did you find Frankos again, but you also learned a lot about what's going on in Phobos. Learn about how Akros has dealt with Sogeg in the sense that the stories are going around that he is dead, and so on.
I need to make it very clear to Bennett I'm not a returned. They were lying. I am actually not dead. Please don't.
Yeah, please don't murder me.
Don't listen to their lies. I don't want to be on your soul, people.
Yeah, I don't want to be a tattoo on you.
Yeah, but you'll live forever.
That is true. It's a backup plan. Backup plan.
Yeah, when he's dying, when he's bleeding to death, that's when you can. Yeah. Did you perform an act worthy of a new epithet? Sogeg's definitely getting something to do with coconuts.
Coconut performer.
But I'm going to give it
Advantage when-
to Pogeg. He's going to actually have
Yeah, it was
an
really a
ability
Pogeg show.
that he uses coconuts. Does anyone else feel like they earned an epithet? They feel like you did something special. I really feel like there were ones, but I'm trying to specifically place ones because there was some really good roleplay this session.
Zork and Nadrin hate crabs.
You did completely
Just
fuck
chilling
up
out
though.
in
They
the
were
arena,
just
dude.
chilling
You
out.
just-
You just annihilated
Feeling
some
on 'em.
crabs.
Explosions.
Okay, well, you can let me know if you think of any between now and next week, but we'll leave that one that way. Loyalty points for Pogeg, Neil, and Mr. Burbles. You get a point for playing, but there was no combat yet. Did you sacrifice anything for your companions? No. Did any of the companions perform incredible actions? I will give a point to Pogeg for the coconuts. I'm so
Like a
happy
pity
with it. It was so funny. So I will allow that.
Everyone else's special action is like amazing damage, loads of like advantage. Pogeg's best thing he's ever done. Played the shit out of some coconuts.
You played the shit
God.
out of those coconuts. So, again, with story, piety, and loyalty, you get the rewards at 3, 10, 25, and 50. So let me know if they've hit 50 in any of your different ones. But yeah, hopefully that was an interesting one. Thanks everyone for playing. Thanks everyone for watching, whether you've watched the VODs over on Satyr Atlas or whether you watched us live at Scutterbuds on Twitch. I do want to say thanks to Deathlight for noticing that Frankos was based on Frank from House Party. I was so glad that someone got that reference. Even though I realised partway through it that I put him in a tavern while you were all drinking, and I'm like, shit, that wouldn't be a Frank thing. But it was fine. So, yeah. We will hopefully be back next week with your adventures further into the desert of Phobos, going from the darkest depths of the water to the driest place on Theros. One extreme to the other.
Is House Party a young person thing, or is it just something that's passed me
Nope.
by?
No, it is not a young person thing. No, it is a young
Wasn't
person.
Kid
As
and
in,
Play,
it's a
was it?
recent game. It's not for kids. No,
It's a game.
it is a game. Yes.
Right.
I
No,
will
the only
explain.
House Party I'm familiar with
I
is
will explain it to you.
a film featuring
uh,
the characters Kid and Play.
when we're off stream. Scuds, do you want to wrap up? If Scuds is still here, I hope so, because we're trying to wrap up the stream.
I just put a nacho in my face.
That's
I'm
fair.
so sorry.
Bad time
Nachos
for nachos.
Damn, that's
You knew your talking point was about to come up. You literally put it in the chat.
Oh, come on. I made it taste like chocolate. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We've got the links over there. We'll be back same time next week.
We have official Theros
And
merch.
I'll be on with
It
it.
looks awesome.
Wow. Yeah. The mugs.
The
And
mat's
we gotta
huge.
try the playmats again.
The
The
mat
mat
is
is
huge.
huge. But yeah, we've got the Theros walk screen on some mugs, some shirts. Gonna resize the playmat, but yeah, it's awesome. Everybody take care. Thank you so much. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
us.
Bye.
Like,